What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. In this video, I'm going to be breaking down my newest acquisition. I bought a 3-property portfolio, and I'm going to break down all the numbers and the backstory for you guys. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump in. So some quick backstory. You guys may have heard me talk about this deal a little bit on Instagram, but essentially I bought a 3-unit portfolio, so 3 single-family houses from one owner. Now, how did I find this deal? Well, this was actually one of my very first co-hosting clients, where I helped him turn his long-term rentals into furnished rentals, and we ended up doing the midterm rental strategy for a few years now. So he came to me and said, "Hey, Bailey, I'm ready to move on to something bigger, and I want to sell these 3 houses. Are you interested?" And I'll talk about this later, but I was a little bit torn about this deal because buying properties that are already furnished, that are already ready to go, is not my strategy right now. But this is too good of a deal to pass up. We did it off market, no realtors. So I said, all right, I'm interested. So my first offer to him was to purchase the properties for $300,000 total. He came back and said, "Hey, I appreciate it. If you can be at $335,000, you got a deal. That's where I need to be." And at first I said, yes, $335,000 deal. And I thought at that point, it was a very fair deal. I was getting a good deal. He was getting a good deal. We were both happy. But then I started to run the numbers. And again, my strategy right now is to do the BRRRR strategy, where I'm recycling my capital. So to have to put down 25% down on a property like this was not in the cards for me. So one thing that I did, and you can see this is a screenshot straight from our agreement, but I said, you know what? Let's actually make the purchase price $345,000. And yes, you heard me right. I increased the purchase price, which I'm the buyer. You're like, why would you do that? Well, because I did something called a seller credit. So I said, hey, I'll do an increased purchase price if you give me a $10,000 seller credit. Now, to the seller, it makes no difference. At the end of the day, he's getting his $335,000 that we initially agreed to. The reason why we have a seller credit is to lower the closing costs for me. So you can see here, pro tip, use seller credits to lower the cash required at closing. This saved me $10,000 up front, but will cost me $65 per month. So just to explain this again for people who are newer to this concept, I have a higher purchase price. Now, the reason I did that again is so that I can take this $10,000 credit and lower my down payment for the property. Ultimately, it's this $10,000 that I'm paying an extra, I'm paying an extra $10,000 towards the purchase price. It'll cost me $65 per month, but it's putting $10,000 in my pocket today. So let me ask you this. Would you pay $65 per month extra if you could have $10,000 today? And the answer was most likely yes, because in about 12 years, I think it was a calculation, is when I will have paid the $10,000 and essentially broke even from that investment. So I think it was a phenomenal move on my part, and I'm very happy I did the seller credit, because I'll show you later how much money I actually had to bring to closing, and it was a substantial amount. Okay, so I already told you that the purchase price was $345,000, but the property appraised for $376,000. That's $31,000 in instant equity. Now, in my opinion, if I wanted to actually sell these properties, I could sell them for more than $376,000. Usually the appraisers come in low, but hey, I was still pretty happy with this instant equity. For the loan terms, I'm going to show you them down below. I'm plugging my own company here. InvestorFirstCapital.com. Yes, I own the company, but we can help you get DSCR loans just like this. Okay. Obviously, this is specific to this deal and this property, but you get the idea. So a couple key points I want to point out here is, number one, this was a portfolio loan. What does that mean? Well, essentially it means I'm getting one loan for multiple properties. In this case, you can see on the top left, I'm getting 3 properties under one loan. My interest rate is 6.75%, which is pretty good considering my first ever real estate investment. My interest rate is and still is 8.5%. So I'm pretty happy about that. The term is 30 years fixed interest. So this is not an adjustable rate mortgage. Those could be a disaster. This is locked in for 30 years, and I'm very happy about it. The prepayment penalty is a 3-2-1 step down, which you can see right here. What that means is if I either refinance or sell the property or pay off the property within the first year, I owe a 3% penalty of the loan balance. So if the loan amount is $258,000, if for whatever reason I sell it today, I owe an extra 3% of this $258,000, which is roughly $7,500 to $10,000. If I sell the property or pay off the mortgage, whatever, in the second year, I owe 2% penalty. And if I pay off the mortgage in the third year, I owe a 1% penalty. And then after that, I can do whatever the heck I want. So if I sell it in year 4, 5, 6, or refinance in year 4, 5, 6, or beyond, no penalty, totally fine. So this is very common with DSCR loans. Oftentimes, it's actually a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 penalty, but I feel like 5 years is a little bit too long for me, so I like to do the 3, 2, 1 personally. Okay, so moving on to the settlement statement here, you can just see a screenshot of it. So I had to put down $88,000 for this property. Now, if I didn't have the seller credit, it would have been $98,000. Okay, so this directly took it from $98,000 to $88,000. And what this number includes is number 1, the down payment, and number 2, I had to prepay a good amount of expenses, such as insurance, taxes, and the other closing costs associated with this. So for this deal, I would not typically do this because, as you guys might know, I'm focused on the BRRRR strategy where I can recycle my capital. Like I said before, this was too good of a deal to pass up. Also, each property had about $10,000 worth of furniture. So it's about $30,000 worth of furniture total where, I'm not looking to sell the furniture. I don't think that the furniture necessarily has that value per se. But if I were to go buy 3 properties, I would have had to spend $30,000 on furniture. Plus, if I do the BRRRR strategy anyways, like my last deal I did, I was out of pocket $11,000 at closing. So $11,000 plus $10,000 of furniture is $21,000. If you multiply that by 3, that's like $63,000 roughly. So yes, I'm out of pocket more money than I want to be. But at the end of the day, I got a good deal. It was turnkey, ready to go. I know these properties super well, so it made sense. So let's jump into the numbers now. The monthly revenue, I put here as $7,500. Now, I don't know why I did that because I'm already undercutting what it's currently making. So when I took over the property, 2 units were already occupied, so 2 houses were already occupied. One was paying $2,500 per month. That was a lead found through Furnish Finder. And then the second property, they're paying $2,700 per month, and that lead was found through Airbnb. And I just got a third tenant paying $2,900. So my revenue currently is closer to $8,100 per month. And just to be honest here, I know that the $2,500 and the $2,700 is a little bit lower than what I can even get. So my revenue potential is at least $8,000, even though I know it's higher. So at the end of the day, if I have an extra $600 per month times 12 months, that's like an extra $7,000 to the bottom line that I'm not including here. So I just wanted to explain that. I'm trying to be conservative with my numbers. So the expenses, the principal, interest, taxes, insurance is $2,637. What's cool about that number is I already showed you one of the properties is paying me $2,900 per month. So that one property is covering the entire principal, interest, taxes, and insurance. And it's even covering some of these extra expenses, not all of them, of course, but we have utilities, lawn care, repairs and maintenance, and pest control. These are on a monthly basis. And the utilities are an estimate. Everything's kind of an estimate, although I do know these properties really well and I have properties in this area, so I'm pretty confident with it. So that leads to profit. So after all these expenses, I will be left with roughly $3,300 per month, which is $40,000 per year. Again, that's based off of the $7,500 per month number. If I really get an extra $7,000 per year, this will be closer to $47,000 per year. But anyways, my initial investment, $88,000, which leaves my cash on cash return as is at 45%. Again, if I can raise revenue, this would be over 50%. So hope you guys appreciated the transparency and the deal breakdown with this one. If you guys have other questions, things I can answer, please let me know. I'm happy to do a follow-up video or answer comments in the questions below. Of course, plugging my company again. If you guys need DSCR loans for your rental properties, go to investorfirstcapital.com or just direct message me on Instagram. Happy to help any way I can, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.